So, a very good morning to you on this lovely, beautiful, sunny morning. We just hope it stays that way, it doesn't spoil anything. We might have a few issues with Zoom, but if anybody happens to be on Zoom, good morning to you as well. For me, it is one group of people, wherever they are, Zoom or in here, it's the same. So welcome, whoever you are, with your worries or without them, with your joyful memories, with sad ones, whoever you are, whatever you believe in, if you believe in anything, there's absolutely no requirements. And later on, we will have a chance to light a candle, maybe something joyful, maybe something less joyful. It's entirely up to you, just a reflection. But when we come to that, can I ask people to be really, really very brief, not to give a lecture or a short talk or something. And we started with Johann Sebastian Bach music, so that is the Air on G string. I hope you enjoyed it. And we now move on to an opening prayer by Reverend Dr. Linda Hart. We enter into this time and this place to join our hearts and minds together. We come to this place, the doors open, the heat comes on, natural one, biscuits are laid, the water heats, and you all come in. What is it that we come here seeking? Many things. Too many to mention them all. Yet, it is likely that some common longings draw us to be with one another. To remember what is most important in life. To be challenged, to live more truly, more deeply, to live with integrity and kindness, and with hope and love. To feel the company of those who seek a common faith, to be renewed in our faith, in the promise of this life, to be strengthened and to find the courage to continue to do what we must do, day after day, world without end. Even if your longings are different than these, you're welcome here. Even if you do not have the strength and the courage to pass along, you're welcome here. You're welcome in your grief and your joy to be within this circle of companions. We gather here, it is good to be together. And before we light the chalice, just to remind people, because there was a little bit of a glitch about the title of the service, so it is Spring, a time for creativity and innovation. So this is the full title. I will keep you intrigued. Right then, so let's do the chalice lighting, as it is the Unitarian custom the world over, and then I will read a blessing on that. So, see how lucky we are with the matches. It works. So, chalice lighting blessing by Yvonne Arborough. The flame consumes the wick, constantly changing and dancing, sharing its radiance with us. So may our souls be aflame with divine love, sharing our radiance with others. And now we come to our first hymn, which is from the Purple Book, and this is number 158. The flame of truth is kindled, and here it is, of course. You may wish to stand in body or in mind, and we will take it from there. The words will appear on the screen, but you have books as well.
Amongst us,
beautifully sung. Thank you very much for that. And we come to a couple of quotes on the theme, which is about creativity and innovation. First by Sylvia Plath, this Unitarian-inspired poet. The worst enemy to creativity is self-doubt, she says. So be brave and do what you think should be done. Creativity, says now Theodore Levitt, creativity is thinking up new things. Innovation is doing new things. So that's another interesting quote. So let's have some prayer. This is a long prayer by Reverend Margaret Kirk, referring to things that might stand in the way. We see barriers erected between people of different lands. We see sheets of steel and towers of concrete called protection. We see boundaries policed, watchmen, women, and children running from hunger and persecution, looking for a gap in the wall. Something there is that doesn't love a wall. We see walls of fear, fear of the young, fear of the stranger, fear of sexuality that is different, fear of the educated, fear of the poor, fear of the Muslim, fear of the Jew. Fear upon fear, endless and perpetuating, and we offer our silent prayer that solid walls of fear will crumble to dust. Something there is that doesn't love a wall. We hear the language of separation, the jingoistic chant, the racial slur, words of indifference and dismissal, words arranged for the purpose of exclusion, words that sting and taunt, words that lie. Let us find words that ring with love and truthfulness, that reach out through the emptiness of separation. Something there is that doesn't love a wall. We see the deluded barriers of the mind protecting self. We see relationships stripped of affection as one person becomes closed to another. We see people trapped in misunderstanding, old hurts reignited, bricks placed higher on the wall, goodwill and trust suspended. And we ask for boundaries that are not impenetrable, through which light can shine and distance be dissolved. Something there is that doesn't love a wall. And when we need these boundaries for our own well-being, let us know them for what they are. Use them wisely and kindly, recognizing our own vulnerability and that of others. So each of us can find the space for retreat and succor, find that peace that passes all understanding, and be renewed with strength and love for the task of living with life joyfully in communion with all others. Amen. So it's now time for a very brief guided meditation. We've done something similar before, so it's a bit structured. I will read something out, give you a couple of minutes, and then we'll finish off with a very, very small kind of reading. So I invite you to close your eyes and to sit comfortably, of course, and to choose something. Like what? A place, a concept, an object, a person that you regard as sacred. What is the quality in that which evokes the sacred for you? What values or virtues does that represent? Are they values or virtues that find an echo within you? Is the sacredness an inherent quality of it? Or does it shine through it, as if its source is elsewhere? Just focus for a while on your sacred place or concept or thing or person. Allow its virtue to shine for you. Hear its inner music and smell its perfume. So for 2 minutes now, we will have some peace and quiet, and then I will bring you back to this space after that. And now let the place or concept or thing or person fade from your mind and just focus on the virtue itself and recognize its reflection in your own hearts. And after you do that, we open our eyes and come back to this space. And then we have another hymn. It's time to sing again. It is this time from the Green Book. The words, of course, will appear on the screen as usual. And it's number 163, 163, Those Who Seek Wisdom. And again, please stand if you wish or remain seated. beautifully sung once again. You may be seated. And we come now to a series of short stories. And the first one will be read by Margaret, The Girl Who Painted the Wind. So let's hear what she did.
So the girl who painted the wind. Once there was a girl named Lilla who loved to paint. She lived in a small town where the wind blew gently every evening. Lilla wished she could paint the wind, but no one could see the wind, only its effects. One evening, Lilla stood by her window and saw the curtains dance, the leaves spin, and her little brother's kite fly high. "That's the wind," she whispered. She picked up her brushes and painted swirling colours, blue, green, and red, moving across the paper like waves. The next day, her painting was hanging in her school hallway. People stopped and stared. "It feels like the wind is blowing from the picture," they said. Lilla smiled. She had painted something invisible by painting how it made the world feel. She fell asleep that night with her brushes beside her, dreaming of painting the stars next.
Thank you, Margaret. Very beautifully read. Thank you. And there's another story. Why not? Let's spoil ourselves. So, the second one to be read by Steve, The Little Seed's Big Dream. So, what is the Little Seed's Big Dream? Let's hear from Steve.
There lived a little seed named Sammy in a sunny garden filled with beautiful flowers and buzzing bees. It had a dream, one big dream. "I want to grow into the tallest sunflower in the garden," he declared one day. All the other seeds ridiculed him. "You are a little seed. What kind of sunflower will you ever be?" Sammy was, however, an unrelating seed with a vision. He continued to strive for what he had thought out for himself. One sunny morning, the gardener went to sow new seeds into the rich, dark soil. As Sammy was carefully placed in the earth, he couldn't help but feel excited at the thought, finally going to experience. "This is my chance," he thought, as sunbeams warmed the ground and raindrops fell slowly from the sky. Sammy began to sprout. It was hard work at first. Sammy had to push the soil, and it weighed heavily above him. "I'm too small," he thought, feeling a little sad about it. But then came his dream of becoming one tall sunflower. "I must keep going," he encouraged himself. Day by day, Sammy stretched his small leaves towards the sun. He listened to the wind whisper in and felt the warm sunshine on his tiny leaves. "You can do it, Sammy," he encouraged himself. Sammy just grew taller and taller with every passing week. He observed all the other plants around him blossoming, but he did not compare himself with them. Instead, he focused on his growth and kept dreaming big. One day, a wise old butterfly fluttered by and landed on Sammy's leaves. "What a lovely little plant you are," she said. "What is your dream?" "I want to be the tallest sunflower in the garden," Sammy declared proudly. The butterfly smiled gently. "Remember, dear seedling, it's not just about how tall you grow, but how you bloom along the way." Inspired by her words, Sammy continued reaching for the sky. He absorbed sunlight and quenched his thirst from the rainwater that fed him. He became good friends with the ladybirds and listened intently to their tales about the exploits in the garden. After days on end of hard work and perseverance, Sammy became a handsome, tall sunflower, tall and proud. His stems stood out among the other flowers in the garden. Inevitably, the sun beat down on him, because around him the buzz was that of bees dancing up and down on his long golden petals. One sunny afternoon, as Sammy swung swaying in the wind, he noticed something amazing. In addition to being tall, Sammy was bright and cheerful, with his golden petals illuminating sunshine to any passerby. Other seeds who had laughed at Sammy now looked up with full of awe. "Wow, Sammy, you really became a magnificent sunflower," they exclaimed. Sammy smiled down to them, saying, "Thank you. I learned today that having faith in yourself is important. But it's blooming with the kind of niceness that brings joy about you that makes you really shine."
Thank you, Steve. Very beautifully read. Thank you. And now we have two readings, short ones, and after that some music again, so to entertain you. So the first is an anonymous one, and the second is an eponymous one, so I will give you the name then. Creativity is a creative process that involves thinking or acting imaginatively with a purpose in turning an idea into a story, like these two, a poem, a picture, or even conversation. The creative process is original, involving ideas that are new to the person being creative or others. The outcome of creativity is of value, providing a solution to a problem, usefulness, or enjoyment. While some people make a significant difference through their creativity, the benefits often lie in the process itself. The creative process helps develop confidence, build relationships, discover talents and strengths, and increase positive emotion. It helps individuals flourish by teaching them about themselves, their love, and their potential contributions to the world. For children and young people, it is important to focus on the importance of the creative process rather than the outcome, as the outcome may be less important. And that takes us to a second reading, and this is the eponymous one. It's from Culture and Creativity, Take a Hint from the Buddha. This is an extract from the work by Raymond Lamb. So this is an extract from Raymond Lamb's article. Is there one correct way of looking at inspiration and imagination? After all, culture is certainly a man-made thing. Yet, it is also something vital to the life of civilization itself. Where there is human thinking, there is culture, expressed through art and the sciences, and it cannot be thrown away or destroyed. Is creativity in the sense of innovation and originality by definition something new? Or is creativity something timeless, always echoing, but never limited by beginnings and endings? A bit philosophical here. I have no idea what the answer is, says the author, and it would surely be hubris to believe one can discover it in one's lifetime. Nevertheless, one can try. Many have, and there is no reason not to follow in their footsteps, especially if we have an example of such stature as the Buddha. And I will give you now some time, a very, very short piece of music by Johann Sebastian Bach again, the well-known Suite No. 2, Badinerie, a minute and a half to collect your thoughts and reflect on anything that you like. And now time for the reflective address. So let's see how then creativity and innovation come together. Creativity and innovation, often spoken as modern virtues, qualities tied to progress, invention, and the restless forward motion of human society. Yet, from a Unitarian perspective, creativity is not merely a contemporary ideal, it is a sacred inheritance. It is something woven into the very fabric of existence, present in the earliest stories humanity has told about itself and expressed across different religious traditions. To be creative is, in a sense, to participate in the ongoing unfolding of the universe. Let's be more specific. In the Christian tradition, we encounter the opening words of Genesis, in the beginning, or Bereshit bara Elohim in Hebrew. Creation is not described as a one-time mechanical act, but as a dynamic, ordered, bringing forth light from darkness, form from void. Humanity made in the image of God is often understood not only to reflect divine morality, but also divine creativity. The human capacity to imagine, to shape, to bring something new into being, whether art, ideas, or acts of compassion, is a continuation of that original creative impulse. However, creativity here is not domination, it is stewardship. And even that word is misunderstood. It is not about imposing will upon the world, but about responding to it, listening and co-creating with it. Innovation then, in this light, becomes an ethical practice as much as an intellectual one. Turning to Judaism now, leave Christianity behind, we find a deep reverence for interpretation itself as a creative art. So even the act of interpreting is creative. The sacred texts are not fixed in meaning. They are living conversations. The tradition of Midrash in Judaism invites readers to explore gaps, to ask questions, to imagine possibilities beyond what is explicitly written. And there are rabbis who say, you must question even the questions. So that is a very interesting concept of how perhaps it should be seen. In this sense, then, creativity is not just permitted, it is required. So we should be creative. We never should give up. To engage with the sacred is to innovate within it. This offers a powerful insight. Innovation need not reject tradition, because this is where things go wrong. So we'll repeat that. Innovation need not reject tradition. They can coexist. Instead, it can emerge from a deep and loving engagement with it. Creativity is not always about breaking away. Sometimes it is about going deeper. Let's go now to Buddhism. In Buddhism, creativity takes on a quieter but no less profound form. The world is understood as impermanent. We did hear in one of the readings that, you cannot achieve that in one lifetime. Of course, in Buddhism, there is a belief, more or less, that there are several lifetimes. The world is understood as impermanent, interdependent, and constantly changing. Innovation, from this perspective then, is less about creating something entirely new and more about awakening to what already is. It is about seeing clearly, responding skillfully, and acting with compassion at the same time. The Zen artist painting a single, for example, brush stroke, or arranging a simple garden is engaging in an act of profound creativity. Maybe like a lovely spiral there. There is innovation in restraint, in attention, in presence. The new arises not from force, but from awareness. From a Unitarian perspective, these traditions are not in competition, they are in conversation. Each offers a lens through which we can better understand the nature of creativity. Together, they suggest that innovation is not merely technological or economic, it is spiritual. It is relational. And above all else, perhaps, it is deeply human. And yet, creativity is not always comfortable. Let's be honest. It often requires us to confront uncertainty, hence the quotes at the beginning of the service. To dwell in ambiguity and to embrace vulnerability. In this, poetry can be a powerful guide. Sylvia Plath, in her poem The Applicant, explores the tension between conformity and individuality. The voice of the poem is clinical, almost mechanical, reducing human identity to a set of functions and expectations. In this world, there is little room for true creativity, only for fitting into predefined roles. Arguably, of course. The poem challenges us to ask, what happens to innovation when we are more concerned with acceptance than authenticity? In contrast, her poem Lady Lazarus presents a fierce, unsettling vision of self-reinvention. Here, creativity is not gentle, it is explosive. It is born from pain, from distraction, from the need to rise again and again. Out of the ash, I rise with my red hair, she says. She portrays an image that is both terrifying and empowering at the same time. Creativity in this sense is not about comfort, it is about transformation. These poetic reflections remind us that innovation is not always linear or pleasant. It can be disruptive. It can challenge existing structures and identities. But it is also a source of renewal. In our own lives, we are constantly called to be creative, not only in artistic or professional contexts, but in how we relate to one another, how we respond to change, because it happens all the time, and how we imagine the future, our future, to be. Every act of kindness, every attempt to understand someone different from us, every effort to build something better, these are all acts of innovation. From a Unitarian perspective, there is no single authority dictating how creativity should be expressed. Instead, there is a commitment to exploration, to openness, and to the inherent worth and dignity of every person. This creates a fertile ground for innovation because it allows for diversity of thought, experience, and expression. But with freedom comes responsibility. Creativity must be guided by compassion, as we said in one of the readings, by justice, and by a sense of interconnectedness. Innovation that ignores these values can lead to harm. True creativity, therefore, is not just about what we can do, but about what we should do. As we reflect on creativity today and every day, we might ask ourselves, what are we bringing into being? What is it that we're creating, in other words? Are we creating spaces of inclusion or of exclusion? Are we fostering understanding or division? Are we contributing to healing or to harm? The answers to these questions shape not only our individual lives, but our collective future in a world facing profound challenges, as we know very well, such as climate change, social inequality, political division. The need for creative and innovative thinking has never been greater. But the solutions we seek will not come from technology alone, as many people think. They will require imagination, empathy, and a willingness to see beyond what is immediately visible or perceptible. They will require us to draw upon the wisdom of many traditions, to listen deeply and to act courageously, as one of our hymns said. We need wisdom. Creativity, then, is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is a way of engaging with the world that is attentive, responsive, and hopeful. It is an expression of our shared humanity and our connection to something greater than ourselves. In closing, let us remember that creativity is not reserved for the select few. It is present in each and every one of us, waiting to be recognized and nurtured. Whether through art, thought, action, or relationship, we all have the capacity to contribute to the ongoing creation of the world. May we do so with courage, with compassion, and with a deep sense of responsibility. And may we never lose sight of the quiet, persistent truth at the heart of all these traditions, religious or other. That even in the midst of uncertainty, something new is always possible. And we end with that positive note. So now even more music. This is now from the Sufi tradition and not from Johann Sebastian Bach. And this is called Ney, means, flute in Turkish. So I think there may be a little issue with the music, but I think it would be okay, probably. 4 minutes. So collect your thoughts. On the website, and you can play that for yourself. It's so sad because I really enjoy that. And I have played something very similar before. I think it was maybe 2 years ago. Okay, so let's have then just 1 minute to collect our thoughts, or to pray silently, or to do some meditation or some reflection as you wish, just for 1 minute, and then we can come back to this space. And then we move on to a prayer, as I always do at this part of the service. It's a pre-offertory prayer. We take, of course, the offerings at the end of the service, not now. The purpose of the church is to encourage all who gather here to grow more generous in spirit as well as in action. This is the great end of all the world's faiths and traditions, to bring the human being closer to the divine by acts of creation and compassion. After the end of the service, please consider making a generous offering if you can, allowing Plymouth Unitarians to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit, an offering that will support this self-supporting congregation. The gifts of money of the congregation will be received, of course, most gratefully after the end of the service on your way to having refreshments in the hall. And now it's time for poetry. I will ask Caroline to come to the podium, to the lectern rather. And it's a poem by Catherine Pulsifer, A Gift We All Possess. So let's see what this gift is.
Poetry, A Gift We All Possess, by Catherine Pulsifer. Creativity, a gift we all possess, unleashes our souls and makes us confess, through art, music, or a simple caress, its value immeasurable we must address. With every stroke of brush on canvas, a masterpiece unfolds, leaving us breathless. The power of creativity endless, igniting personal growth limitless. In a world plagued by darkness and strife, creativity shines the brilliance of light, advancing positives in society's fight, inspiring others to do what is right. A wellspring of ideas, a boundless well, creativity transforms, casting its spell, replenishing the spirit where magic dwells, a source of newness where wonders swell.
Thank you, Caroline. It's beautifully read. Well, time for more singing now. So this is the last hymn, number 264, Spring Buds of Hope, from the Green Book, and the words, of course, will appear on the screen. So please stand if you wish, or remain seated. So we extinguish the chalice here, that it might glow gently in our hearts. May it light our path as we leave this place. May it guide our way till we are together again next Sunday.